Well, it's just been wonderful to see people coming back and seeing each other after something like 30 or 40 years. We're also hearing that some of those who were here in the 80s, they have a 7-year rule almost, whereby they come back, they connect with each other wherever they are in the world every 7 years. And seemingly the 7th year of the next round is coming up in about a year's time. So that just shows you the bonding that took place here through the work camps and through the work at the farm and all those various projects. And it's many are saying it was a life-changing experience, or in their youth, that they could come and spend time together. And even though there might be these big concepts of reconciliation and forgiveness and so on, big intellectual concepts, they brought it down. They just lived it with each other here at Glencree. I'm calling Glencree a centre of the heart. Glencree, Cree being the Irish word for heart, and a glen of the heart. And to hear it from people that they have experienced it here while they spent time as a volunteer over a year or 2 years or more, that's just amazing, and that it had such a significant influence and impact on their lives, that they could sort out what they wanted to do if they did want to go for teaching, or they did want to go on into agriculture, or for some of them they've ended up in psychology or as counsellors or whatever. So to hear those stories 20 or 30 years later makes it just magic in a sense of what we've been through.
Today we are having a volunteers reunion, so there are many volunteers around here, and we've taken the opportunity to try and repair the mosaic a little bit, because it is nearly 20 years since we first made it. Originally, the shape of the Glencree logo was here in the grass, and it was part of the live programme, which is Let's Involve the Victim's Experience. And they had symbolically put stones on this shape. Then a year or two later, I was here working on the education programme, and I had just done this mosaic in the community training, and we decided that we would do a community mosaic. So we cemented over the shape, and then in the armoury, this was before it was made in the cafe, we had a shed, a workspace, and I had a table and had a collection of tiles, and I got people to come, and anybody, I would grab anybody, volunteers, as Sonia was that time, Martin the chef, and we started making, each one person made their own mosaic. And then we placed it on a paper template, and then I brought it out here, stuck it on the shape, and then we routed it over, and it looked wonderful. So you want to see the pictures of it in its original state when it was finished.
So my mosaic was actually a small circle representing the matriarchate with blue and white and red stones, and today I was able to repair it again. Just lovely. And at the time, Gail was really encouraging me, because I thought, no, I'm too busy, I had whatever to do, but it was so lovely to stop and to leave a little contribution to Grateful that I'm very, very thankful of. In many ways, great.
Well, everything's going very well. I mean, it's the 50th birthday at Glencree. The volunteers have come from about 15 different countries, and we have some volunteers from Brazil and from Mexico that have lived here for the last 20 years, actually. The next workshop that I'm going to do is one that's based on the experiences of the 1990s and the year 2000 volunteers. And really what I'm looking for is strengths and weaknesses of their visit. A lot of them have difficulty remembering, but I'm not surprised, because I have difficulty remembering too. But they also have children, and it's fascinating to see volunteers with children, because whenever they were here, they didn't have children. It was 20 years ago. So it's going to be interesting to find out from the volunteers what they consider to be the strong points and the weak points of their visit.
The workshop today has been amazing, just to get memories relit, if that's a word, because I was involved in the 80s here, but my family have been here for 4 generations. My great-grandfather worked here, my grandfather worked here, my father and mother met here and got married I've worked here and my son has worked here. So that's how many of us have been here. So my involvement with the Reconciliation Centre was with the farm and farm education. I was advisor and a member of the board back in the 80s. And it was just an amazing time and meeting amazing people. And to see them all again, it looks like, you're meeting their parents, but it's actually them. So that's all I'd have to say about it.
Oh, I think it's a wonderful event, getting all the old volunteers and also some of the neighbours, people who live in the valley, getting them together. And for those of us who are sort of latecomers and, only coming for 30 years, hearing of what happened 50 years ago is wonderful. It gives us a real sense of the place.
This is an oak tree, which, as you know, survives over many years. And so that's the symbolic importance of doing an oak tree for James McLaughlin.
Quercus robur, the strong oak, and it's a beautiful specimen as well, and it's very fitting that we're all here to remember James, who we've just lost. And there's lots of happy faces here, lots of meetings of people that we haven't seen in a long time. It's wonderful to be back here, the sun's shining. So we're remembering James and planting this tree for him, and it'd be great if everybody could participate in this, put some soil in the earth where this tree is going to grow for a long time and probably outlive us all, we hope. And it'd be really nice to get a group picture of everybody with the tree once we've got it planted. Yeah?